This is CHH My Radio 580 AM, locally operated, locally owned, your own radio station, My Radio 580 AM, bringing Albertans together.
Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising.
Hello, good morning.
On the top.
Morning to y'all.
Morning, grand rising. How are we feeling?
We're up. It's Sunday. We're vertical.
Yep, that's about it.
Doing the thing on Sunday morning.
Doing the thing.
That's right. Live to you here from My Radio, Sacred Sunday Conversations.
Oh, yes, we are. We are here, and it is Sunday, January the 18th.
That's right.
And
It's cold outside.
very,
Yes.
it's at like
If you want the
minus
weather,
30.
yeah. If you want the weather report it's cold.
Cold. It's more, you have to drop the D. It's cold.
Yes, that's the weather report for today.
Yes, it is. And we don't have a visual visitor, but we have a visitor, and I have my nephew's video.
He's out there hanging
He's
out.
out there, watching us from the screen.
Yeah, don't worry, Gashar. He's away from all the tech stuff.
All the tech stuff.
He's not around.
Just watching. We're watching him. He's watching us.
Yeah, he's far from everything. He can't break anything.
Yeah, it's so interesting just to see the joy in children's lives and just the little things that bring them joy. He's when I was telling you, like, when I walk into the room, I barely walked in the room. Is it time to get up yet? Is it time? Because he didn't know if it was night or morning, right?
Yeah.
So it was good. It's always good to be around children. I would say seniors or pets. There's something in the soul of youth, like really, really young children or seniors or little furry people.
Little furry people. Those furry people.
Yes.
Yeah, is anyone else kick off with shouting out today?
Well, just my nephews today, and my nieces and nephews. I'm gonna have a bag of children at my house later.
Oh, what's going on?
Nothing. Just Auntie's house.
Just drop the picnic them off at Auntie's house.
Just Auntie's house. That's it. Nothing big. And I said, well, if I'm gonna have the kids over, maybe I should cook. It's a long time I haven't cooked for just kids. So I'm seasoning up the curry chicken yesterday to make not chicken curry, curry chicken.
Yeah.
Just to put it out there. And I was so tempted to put pepper. Like, how can I? Because my son's an adult. So if I'm cooking Sunday dinner, we're gonna have the adult pepper.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna cook it, and then I have to take a little bit for me and my son and put the pepper sauce in there. My pepper sauce is from Trinidad, by the way.
That's
I know.
We're not against you.
No. But it's still Scotch bonnet pepper.
Yeah. Well, also I want to shout out. I haven't shouted out to her brother BK in a while, but I hope he's okay in the cold and the snow over there this week.
Oh, stay warm.
Mama Gita is back from London.
Okay.
This weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, she's back from the UK doing her thing.
Oh, wow.
So hopefully she's not too cold when she gets back here, because
No.
there's a bit of a temperature swing and all that.
1,000%.
Yep. Also, shout out to my friend Anna Kay. She's had an interesting weekend this weekend, but want to send her a little bit of love. Tell her she'll be all right. Everything will be cool.
Okay.
She got besties around her.
Sending lots of love.
Send some love to you, Anna Kay.
1,000%.
She'll probably beat me up later for. But we love you, Anna Kay. We love you.
Yes, we do. Always. So, do you know what we're talking about today in today's conversations?
Something about attacking the soul and the heart of the person, snatching the soul. It's probably a preview to next week's Saturday, probably.
So, let me give a little context. I was watching a clip, and the podcaster had a guest, of course.
Yeah.
And he was saying something about divorce rates. And so they talked about divorce rates and 50% this and yada, yada, yada. But what got me was he said, what about the people who didn't get a divorce? So we know people who got a divorce, they may be broken or happy or whatever. So we know that there's mixed emotions around that and the dynamics that comes with the divorce. We know that part. But what about the people who stayed in the marriage or the relationship who should not have stayed?
Okay.
And he said, I believe something to the effect of, I wonder what is the state of their soul.
So a question, what is the definition of should not have stayed? Like, what is that? Because that is a subjective...
It is.
Kind of criteria.
Yeah. So what he said, so I'm going to put what he said and other things that I know in my lived experience and I read.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, first of all, when there's abuse, any abuse, even in a friendship, any form of abuse, psychological, financial, spiritual abuse, physical, sexual, any form of abuse. So that's like, of course, we would say don't stay. But again, it's up to the person. And then the second part is when there's dishonor or disrespect and it cannot be resolved.
Okay.
Just which kind of falls subline under abuse.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Dishonor. And he did say sometimes you kind of just grow apart. And this is the part that got me, is that when you grow apart, what happens is when you can't fall back in alignment with love with each other, resentment starts to germinate. So when there's resentment in that friendship, relationship, in this case, marriage, you probably want to look at separating, because resentment, on a side note, so in Jamaica they say stick a pin, hold that thought. Resentment creates illness in the body. Dis-ease. When you're not at ease, you're at dis-ease, right? So anger, resentment, all of that stuff, you know, oversleeping, undersleeping, constipation, all that stuff, right? Aches, pains, headache, ulcer, tumors are all associated with that pent-up emotion. So he was, you know, he spoke about that as well. So I was just thinking, when he said, what is his question is in that 30, 40, 50-year marriage that probably should have not lasted that long. What is the state of that person's soul?
I would say to him, for example, the old time people have a different mentality and approach to marriage, right? So we live in a world today where the slightest little bit of a disagreement means the end of the relationship.
Yes.
Right? I think Tyrese, he had an interview on Club Shay Shay last year.
Yes.
And he brought it up and he said, your grandparents were married for 50 years. You don't think your granddaddy ever stepped out on your mama once? You don't think they ever had a massive argument? You don't think they ever came almost wanted to like murder each other? You don't think at one point she disrespected him or he disrespected her? You don't think at one point people around you were chirping and chatting?
1000%.
But guess what they did? They worked it out.
Right.
Because they were a team. That mentality does not exist today. Or if it does, it barely does exist.
Can that mentality exist?
It can.
And so what about that mentality that can exist? Because I would push back on that a little bit. First of all, things evolve. People evolve.
People do evolve.
And most reasons, because my grandparents are a product of that mindset. My grandmother, my grandfather, they both just died out, right? And both of them got remarried. So they had marriages before, got remarried.
It came right back to the start.
Right? No, they had like a husband and a wife before that.
I think, okay, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And my grandmother mothered her stepchildren like just like her own. Like, so I've seen things work out in a good way. However, my grandmother could read and write. My grandmother was in the workforce. So I've seen a different dynamic. My grandmother also had, I think, 3 or 4 children when she met my grandfather.
Yeah.
So the question is, or the comment is, there's an evolution where women are in the workforce now, women are getting educated now. They are more knowledgeable about their own emotions and the systems and things like that. Most people stayed and they fought because it was for survival. We are out of survival mode as a society in some places in the world. We are now in a building and a thriving. We're not surviving, we're thriving. So now the woman's educated and the woman has her own independent thoughts, and so does the man, and he kind of always did. So now how can we, and in the clip, he said, how can we work together on that purpose, on this vision, instead of you go this way and I go that way, right? Because I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, and if he wants to be just a thriving capitalist business owner, I can see how my humanitarian spirit and his capitalistic spirit won't really jive, and I can see us moving apart. And if I stayed, I definitely could see myself regretting. So and getting angry really at myself for staying. That resentment.
Whatever happened to the word compromise?
So that's where I said I push back a little bit, because I also agree that people have this microwave thinking, this microwave attitude towards life, and it has to come quick. And then the influence of social media is like, it's not like this. So you need to fix up and be like this or else.
Yeah, and the idea of saying, like, I've heard the conversation that say, you know, women today are more or striving more for education careers more than, say, 50, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
However, so too are the guys. And so things can break up. They're two sides to the coin, right? So women are evolving, men are also evolving, but in different ways, different capacities, different things, right? I don't think that evolution should be the catalyst for still losing the thought process of, if you get married to a person, the relationship doesn't end after the first dust
breakup.
Right? You know, like, I've been in relationships where literally we'd have one argument, and it was just like, I'm the kind of person, like, we can have an argument today. 5 minutes from now, I've moved on from the argument, and let's keep it rolling. Right? Not everybody has that approach, has that that thought process. Some people hold on to things for years.
Right. So this brings me back to the question of the soul, right? And the purpose of the soul, right? And the mission of the soul. And what does the soul need? Because I'm not going to say if, I focus on the mission of my soul. Why did my soul choose this body and the family that I'm in?
What is the soul? We got to start from the basics.
So, first of all, this is just my definition.
Yeah, that's right. Don't come out here. Everyone's got a definition.
Everyone has different definitions. Okay, so I'm just going to
How do you define the soul?
How do I define the soul as an energy and an entity? And I believe that we have a physical body and we have a spiritual body. And I believe that spiritual body is called the soul. And that soul has a characteristic. It has a need. Just like the body, it has ways that it grows. It has ways that it learns. It has ways that it evolves. And I believe that soul travels from body to body incarnation, right? So that's just my belief. So depending on what it needs to learn, like, I know for myself to be true for me, that my soul traveled in other bodies. And there's certain wisdoms, there's certain understandings that I have that's beyond my age, that's beyond my time, and it only came from the memory of my soul. Okay. So I would define the soul as the non-physical body of a person. Right? And the entity of that person. And so the soul has needs, just like the body.
Yeah.
The soul has a diet to keep it healthy and vibrating high, just like the body.
Yeah.
The soul has a mind and a consciousness of things that it wants to explore, just like the body. And when we focus on the needs of the soul, it's easier, in my experience now, being in my 40s, that I can...
Don't hurt yourself.
Well, you know, I shouldn't age myself. Let me just say. Delete. Okay, everybody, just delete that part. We're going to blow that part out the show, right? But me just being more mature in my age, I realized if I had focused on the needs and the health and the wellness of my soul, I would have been gravitated to certain person, place, things, and events vastly different than how I experienced my life. Not that I would have avoided challenges or pain or suffering, because that's a part of growth.
Yeah, without that, you can't evolve.
Right? Like I needed to scrape up my knee to learn to ride a bike. Right?
Or slap the right rum on the scrape so you don't do it again.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? So it's a part of it. So the soul will have its challenges and tumbling blocks, and so it'll have what we call suffering or pain or growth, but it's a part of the evolution.
Yes.
But it would have looked vastly different if I had focused on my non-physical self, which to me is the everlasting self. For me, that is what drives people. So when you see the Michael Jacksons and the Princes, and they are, or Bob Marley, right? When we see these icons, they are driven by soul.
Okay.
It's the need of their soul to express itself as a human through music, dance, technology, carpentry, whatever.
Yep.
And when you are expressing like this, then that love, that attention, that energy starts to latch onto certain people, places, and things and bring it back to you like a magnet.
Yeah.
So if I had and I'm very grateful that I'm in the state where it's not too late to focus on the true essence. So I have a quick activity. I want, for those who are listening now, or for those who are going to listen, and you can do this too.
Yeah.
I want you to just take a breath, close your eyes just for 2 seconds, and without opening up your mouth, I want you to say, I am a superstar.
I am a superstar.
Without opening your mouth.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay.
Without opening up your mouth, I want you to say, I am a superstar. I want you to say it a little bit louder. I am a superstar. Now, with your eyes remaining closed, take another deep breath. I want you to see the words, I am a superstar. Now, as you see these words, what does it look like? What colors are they? Okay, take a breath. Open up your eyes, come back to the room. Okay? Now the question is, Greg, did you hear yourself say superstar?
I did.
Okay. Did you see the word superstar?
See it? No.
Okay, that's fine. Some people don't see it.
Yeah.
So the question is, you heard yourself say it, but your mouth did not move. There wasn't any sound. So who did the hearing? Who heard you say it? That's the question.
Yeah.
And that is your soul. Your soul heard your human body trying to say something.
Gotcha.
And that's the part of us that is always there. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter even if you change your gender, right? That's the everlasting part of you, right? So I wanted us to really think about yourself as bigger than just a human being in Edmonton or wherever you're listening from. You're bigger than that. You are an energy or an entity or a soul, whatever word you want to use.
Yeah.
That is the listener of your thoughts. That is the listener of your feelings.
Yeah.
And it would be the seer. If you had seen it, I'd be like, okay, who did the seeing? But it's the same concept. Yeah. What are your thoughts? And we're probably going to share those thoughts.
Kind of right after the thing.
Right after our little break.
How much seconds do we have left?
We have it. Well, it's supposed to go now.
Oh, okay.
It is 7:24.
Oh.
So
well, let's drop a little hot song and then come back after this.
Yes.
Play Alberta is your ticket to a world of gaming, but from the comfort of your home. Whether you love slots, sports, table games, or lottery, Play Alberta has something for everyone. Best of all, it's safe, secure, and supports local communities. New players can get started with $500 casino bonus, $200 in free sports bets, multiple lottery offers, and much, much more. There's so much to get and so much fun to be had at playalberta.ca. Alberta's home for online casino, sports, and lottery. Play Alberta is your ticket to a world of gaming, but from the comfort of your home. Whether you love slots, sports, table games, or lottery, Play Alberta has something for everyone. Best of all, it's safe, secure, and supports local communities. New players can get started with $500 casino bonus, $200 in free sports bets, multiple lottery offers, and much, much more. There's so much to get and so much fun to be had at playalberta.ca, Alberta's home for online casino, sports, and lottery.
My Radio 580 AM, bringing Albertans together.
Tell you this, since you've been gone, I think it's grown, it not fit no other girl, but to me it still looks the same, cause nothing's changed. No, it's the same size you used to sit on, it's the same size you used to lay on and play on. Come back for it, baby, and nothing's changed. It's the same size that fits you right, but it looks too big and it feels too big. My bed's too big, my bed is too big without you. Feels like I'm swimming in an ocean all alone. Feels like I'm 1 million miles in space, dying to come back home. Lonely nights, you know I can't sleep right. Pillow them tough like stone. So I need you to come back beside me, girl. Now make my ball over this phone, cause nothing's changed. No, it's the same size you used to sit on. It's the same size you used to lay on and play on. Come back for it, baby, and nothing's changed. It's the same size that fits you right, but it looks too big and it feels too big. My bed's too big without you. Another girl is on it now, but the space don't tighten up, and it don't feel as warm and plush. The edges don't feel the same, and 6 out of 10 times me call her by your name. Girl, how will you do to me? Tell me the name of the spell where you cast for me. I'm not tired time because you can't cook. Baby, tell me what you do, cause nothing's changed. No, it's the same size you used to sit on. It's the same size you used to lay on and play on. Come back for it, baby, and nothing's changed. It's the same size that fits you right, but it looks too big and it feels too big. My bed's too big, my bed is too big without you. Maybe I should just throw this bed away without you. I don't think I'm gonna sleep here another day without you. I'm a mess and I don't wanna stay this way. So won't you come back home today? Nothing's changed. It's the same size you used to sit on. It's the same size you used to lay on and play on. Come back for it, baby, and nothing's changed. It's the same it's right. But it looks too big, it feels too big. That's too big, but it's too big without you.
This is CHH My Radio 580 AM, locally operated, locally owned, your own radio station, My Radio 580 AM, bringing Albertans together.
We're back.
Yes, we're here.
Yes. And we're not going to get into it, but on a side note, I love Method Man. I don't promote violence.
Mr. Method Man
but
from the
Method
Wu-Tang
Man
Clan.
is, from time, I was just, and I'm not a hip hop person, but I could respect the art.
Method Man's flow is on a different level from most
Different.
artists. And his daughter, actually. I don't know
Yes.
if you've heard her, but you could know the apple fell right there at the root of the tree. Actually, the apple's still on the tree. Apple didn't fall off that
It
tree.
didn't fall. And that's genetics.
Yeah.
That's just genes right there,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
like when you look at the Marley's family too, it's like it's all the art.
The artist,
It's
yeah,
just
it's there. But yeah, like when I heard her freestyle, I was like,
yeah.
oh no, yeah, that's Method Man's daughter. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but when you see clips of Method Man, like he had his daughter in studios. She was like on his lap, like right there. There's clips of, so she was always there, right? So back to the thing
That's right.
about the soul, and
How do you feed that soul? Make it grow.
that's such a good question. So one of the major things that the soul needs to thrive is truth and authenticity. Telling yourself the truth. So, for example, someone in your family or friend circle say, hey, can I get a ride to do this, that? And you know you have things to do, or you know you just don't want to get out of your bed. And you still say yes. That is, for example, eating like processed foods or cheeseburger and pizza for your body. That doesn't feed your soul. Because not only did you lie to them, but you lied to yourself. Not only did you, so there's a saying that you say yes to yourself and no to other people.
Okay.
So you said no to yourself for the other person. And it's not even from a place of, okay, I'm saying no to me because they really need it. No, this is someone who just doesn't want to drive their car and save gas. They have a car, they have gas, they just want to use whoever. Like there are people like that.
There are
out
people
there,
like that, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So because your soul would tell you, yeah, say yes. And so when you say yes to things like that, that's just a little example. You feel it in your body.
Yeah.
So when you know that your soul agrees with your actions, your thoughts, or feelings, is your body feels at ease. So when someone says, hey, Greg, do you want to, like, if I say, Greg, let's go for coffee after here. There's not, unless if you have something to do, I consider myself a safe person.
Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
But if somebody who violated you, even they may have apologized, and after the show they say, hey, Greg, let's grab a coffee. There's something inside it.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Yeah.
Right? And so when we know what is good for our soul, scan your body. Your soul, your subconscious mind communicates through your body. People don't know that. So when people have gone through traumatic events, usually, and there's like, I've been in therapy for years, and usually you haven't released the event or the trauma from your body. So you need somatic therapy.
Okay.
There's things that you have to do from your cells in your body. So that's how you know, what is the relationship between my flesh and my soul? Like, right? Is scan my body. Your body will never lie. You feel truth and you feel untruth.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. The second thing is being in a state of gratitude when you wake up. Right? And so there's different ways to do that. One of the shows we talk about the laws of Ma'at in the morning. And
Yeah.
so there's different ancient techniques or just getting up and being grateful.
Well, one of my friends, Amanda,
Yeah.
she's in the middle of I think it's a 365, a whole every day. She has to get up and say something that she's grateful for.
Yeah. That's a good practice until it becomes innate. That's a good practice. That's like, so what the gratitude does is, whether you feel like it or not, whether you feel grateful or not, it's exercising the muscle of the soul. So it's like going to the gym, going for a walk every morning. I know people out here, it's minus 31 right now.
And people still out there running.
And people are out here jogging, running, because they know that their body needs circulation, winter, spring, summer, fall.
Yeah.
So one of the tools, techniques, or exercises is morning gratitude. Nightly gratitude with reflection. So you go to bed with a reflection of your day. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have done that. And then, you know what? But I'm grateful that I have the knowledge and the wisdom to choose differently next time. So you don't stay in that guilt or that regret.
Yeah, it's kind of like when they say in a relationship, don't go to bed with your spouse angry.
1000%. You can't go to bed angry at yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they'll do it.
Don't do it. It's not serving.
Yeah.
So that's one of the other ways that you could feed your soul. My major shift in my life happened in 2010. And so I don't know how long ago that's 14
That's
years
like
ago.
15 years ago.
Yeah. That's the like I've started my journey before that, but one of the major, like I was in a bad car accident. My car went under a truck and it was totaled. And
Under
stuff like
the
that.
truck?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I had a 1.6 Acura, and the truck came, cut me off, and I walked out, no broken bones. I have, ripped tissue and tendons. I was unconscious for a little bit, and then smoke was coming, someone grabbed me out or whatever. So it was not only a physical life traumatic changing event, but in that moment of even what I was doing, where I was at, like I remember that day, I don't like wigs. For me, it's just too much on me. I like when braids or extensions, but and I still will try it to this day to say like maybe I'll have a change of heart because it's evolved from 15 years ago or 16 years ago. But that day I put on a wig. That day I put on some makeup, and I was trying to impress somebody that I didn't even really like. I was trying to tell myself that this is a person that I could like more than a friend.
Yeah.
But deep down, I didn't really.
You weren't feeling it.
No, right? And so that whole day was an accumulation of inauthentic operation mode, right? It's everything. And so I walked out of that car accident very not only in shock, but I was like together, no broken bones, no, just some tissue damage and things like that, and a concussion. And after that, I said, I wouldn't have been on that highway. If I was standing in my truth, I would not have even been on the highway in Toronto, on the 401 express lane, going to where I'm going. I would not have even been. So my inauthentic self brought me to a place that could have caused death for me.
Yeah.
Right? So telling myself the truth was a mandate by then. Like I was playing with it, my healing journey started in 07, 06, 07. And my initiations and all the different stuff I did spiritually started about 07, 08. So I was already in the journey. But it's like some people who are on the journey of maybe being Christian, getting baptized. You just kind of.
Yeah.
And for me, I would say truth is a good place to start.
Yeah.
In developing not a relationship with your soul, but strengthening the voice of your soul and the feeling of your soul.
Yeah.
And understanding, because your soul is kind of the bridge of your physical body and all those sensations, and your higher self or the universe or God or Krishna or, Allah, like whatever you call your supreme being.
Yeah.
The medium that goes between both worlds is your soul. And the more your soul is fed and taken care of, is the more you can hear from the universe or the creator, or whatever you call creator. The more we deny ourselves and lie to ourselves and not stand in our truth, the voice is more distant. You're in your flesh and you want to dance and drink and smoke and party and sex and all these different
all
things.
the fun stuff, yeah.
Right? So one of the first principles is telling yourself the truth.
Yeah. And whatever that truth may be.
Yes.
Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's not.
Exactly. So we're going to take a quick break.
Do a little thing.
Yes.
Little jingle jingle.
Yes.
My Radio 580 AM, bringing Albertans together.
Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. Yeah. When your head's on my shoulder tonight, yeah, I'll make sure to keep you satisfied, girl. Oh, na 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 na. Girl, you want me, no one. God, somebody said.
This is CHH My Radio 580 AM, locally operated, locally owned, your own radio station, My Radio 580 AM, bringing Albertans together.
Okay.
We're back.
We're back.
A little bit of teaser segment on them DJs.
One of them things, Diana.
Just play the first 10 seconds of the song and
Let's pull it back, right? So I know we're going to wrap up shortly. But you did ask a good question. It's like, how can you take care of the soul?
Yeah, how do you feed it? How do you help it evolve?
And so telling yourself the truth is a good space to be like, you know what? I do abandon myself. I do have this inkling, this feeling, this intuition that I feel when I'm around these people, and I know they don't like me, or I know that I'm not happy at work. I know I'm not happy in my relationship, my marriage. I know I'm people pleasing, whatever the case is, that is bringing us away. Remember, I was describing like the universal soul, which is where we all are connected. This is not a separate thing. We all, and then that universal soul is like one big star, and then boom, all these millions and trillions of stars, and that's who we are.
Yeah.
And so we are a part of it. And then so here, the universal soul is here, or higher mind, and then our soul is here. And then we have our body, our flesh, our human desires and experiences. So the goal in life is to kind of merge these two and just do a dance, a tango. So sometimes you're more soul, sometimes you're more flesh, but just to have that balance. And so telling yourself the truth is a good place to start.
Yeah.
And then the other part is have grace with yourself. Have grace and compassion. And I ended off last year around October, hashtag soft life.
What does that even mean, though?
Hashtag soft life is in every situation.
Yeah.
There's a hard way to do it, and there's a soft/gentle way to do it. With every thought, I used to be, I'm way better now, very hard on myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this soft or is this hard? Right? Allowing things to flow.
See, that's different from what I've heard people use it for.
1000%. This is why this is a sacred conversation. We're having the higher level conversation because people do hashtag soft life. Like, I don't.
Basically, they say you should just spend everything on.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Be pampered.
Yeah. Soft life is about ease. It's about allowing. It's about gentleness. It's about care. I actually care that this self-talk is making me feel in a bad mood right now, and I'm going to switch it. That's soft life.
Yeah.
Right? I care that this person has ignored me when I'm trying to talk to them, and that feels violent towards me. So I'm going to have to cut them off or create a boundary. Right? Soft life.
Yeah.
You don't have to argue, you don't have to fight. Or when we have those negative self-talk, I'm good, like me, I'll eat. Right? We don't have to, that's hard life.
Yeah.
So soft life is like caring, right? And so back to kind of as we wrap up is you want to stand in your truth, tell yourself the truth. And there's a part that I heard this week of describing self from Eckhart Tolle, so I'm going to not take credit for this, is if we look at a cross, right? And there's crossroads in life, being is, remember we just did that exercise with the voice? That is your true being. That is your soul. And then there's doing. Action, we take action. So we go to school, we do education, we do having a balance of just being still in yourself and know, like, you know what? Just as I am, I'm okay. I don't need to do any extra. And I'm learning this even in meetings. I don't have to speak. I can just listen. Well,
most people forget that you can't learn if you don't listen and absorb information.
Yeah. 1000%. And you hear communication is 80% nonverbal, 20% verbal. So when we listen, 2 ears, 1 mouth, when we listen as twice as we speak, you actually hear what people are not saying.
That's a
whole different conversation.
It's a whole different.
It's a whole. But you, or let me rephrase that. You feel.
Yes.
What people are not saying. You can feel.
No, you can listen to what people are not saying too.
1000% in their tone, their cadence.
Yeah, you
micro expressions.
Usually, I find truth in what you've not said.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
1000%.
usually where I find truth.
Yeah. And so that's a whole different show, but I'm not even going to go there. Let me bring it back. So telling yourself the truth, standing in their truth, having soft life, grace for yourself, and for instant forgiveness, radical forgiveness. And the third thing is that balance.
Okay.
That your soul, we can't be totally in this la la land. I'm just going to be meditating, burning sage, chakra, whatever, prayer, fasting. Those things are good. Those things are good. However, there has to take action. You can write down your goals, but until you take action, nothing's going to happen. And then you want to blame. See what God did? Yeah, but you didn't get up and apply for that job.
Yeah.
So your unemployment status, it remains, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And one hack that I'm going to leave is fasting. So during COVID, right at the brinks of COVID, I deleted all my social medias, and I only kept YouTube. That's it. I wasn't on Instagram for most of 2020.
Okay.
I just took, so my COVID experience was way more positive.
You weren't bombarded.
I was
with
not
every day.
Well, I was getting, and I had WhatsApp, so I was
Yeah.
getting some WhatsApp messages from your aunties, right? WhatsApp and YouTube are the only things that I really did. But I fasted. Sometimes I fast from food, and I just do like liquids. Sometimes I fast from sugars, no carbs, because what fasting does, and the intent of fasting, that our ancient ancestors, wherever part of the world that your family is from, fasting was key. Abstaining from something to fill something else, and usually the intent is to fill your soul.
Yeah.
But you can't even hear from your soul if you're busy on social media or doing other things.
Whatever you're doing, yeah.
Right? And I would even fast from busyness. I've always had 2-3 jobs, had a business, and I've took weekends where I did nothing, which caused anxiety the first weekend that you try it.
Because you're like, did I forget something?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Right?
something's not done.
Yeah. So that's a hack if we really want to be like, okay, what's this soul thing that, Miss Phoenix is talking about on today's show?
That's right.
Try fasting off something that you normally indulge in. So it doesn't, people think it's just food. It's not only food, because that might not be something that a person indulges in. Like I fasted from coffee. I'm a coffee person.
Well, it's kind of like when 50 Cent came out. Was it last year or the year before? Said he's taken a 1-year hiatus from sexual encounters. I was like, 50, stop it. You not. He's like, oh, no.
I would believe him.
I don't know if anyone followed up, but he was dead serious on it.
I believe him. There's something called sex transmutation. And when you, especially for men, when you abstain from actual release and you turn that energy back in, something powerful. I'm not going to get into it. You can look it up. It's called sex transmutation. Yeah. And when you're trying to bring yourself to another level, you do that. So boxers do that. Yeah. Muay Thai fighters do that. High level, high performing athletes. Yeah. That is a common practice before.
Well, it's because you don't want to. You need your legs, and you need to not be tired.
That too, but there's something that happens to your mindset.
It refocuses you.
It refocuses, it regrounds you, and then you actually have more power. Yeah. So if you were to measure the energy of someone who abstained, their frequency, their vibration calibrates a lot higher than someone who's
out there all the time.
Who was out there. Yeah. So there's, look it up. It's called sex transmutation. But anyhow, I think this was some good conversation around
the soul.
That's
right.
I didn't go as deep as.
Well, we only got an hour. We could do a part 2.
Yeah, we could do a part 2.
It's always a part 2.
Yeah.
It's only an hour, so.
And sometimes it doesn't have to be that deep. I think whatever we said today will resonate, and people can do their own research. Fact check me, please. I want to hear from you.
Leave it in the comments. Well, it is almost 5 to the hour. We got Miss Lower coming in at Latin hour at 8 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you all for rolling with us this weekend with the Weekend Morning Show crew from the next 48 all the way to today.
Yes.
I'm going to say Special K held it down Friday.
Okay.
Funny story for another time. I'll tell you off air.
Yes.
Another time. But next weekend we'll be back with the next 48 on Friday, 6 p.m. to 7. Myself, Special K. Saturday is going to be Saturday morning next week. Tune in.
I'm almost tempted to drive up here, be like, I
think you should just block it. Just pop it. Give me a seat. I don't care. I'll share the mic with somebody. All right. That's going to be a fire episode next week Saturday. Tune in. It's going to be all about just tune in. And then we're back next week Sunday with Miss Phoenix here for the sake of Sunday Conversations.
Yeah, and we have a special guest.
Yes.
So next week.
It's going to be fire all weekend.
Yeah, next week. Get space ready. There's going to be some movement on camera. Get
Oh, yeah.
ready. That's all I'm going to say. Get
yeah.
ready to make some movement.
Lots of things gonna happen.
Yes.
Yeah, but till then, y'all, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for riding with us. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you again.
Yes. Peace and love. Namaste.
Lord, special selection for all the ones trying. Lord, all hard workers, don't give up now. Oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well. Alright then, half a bread, chicken back, boiled dumpling, no come in, no in that. Oh yeah, white rice with the butter on it top, life hard, but me still a give thanks to what me got. Cause to some it little, but to me it is a lot. Some